I recently went to a callback audition in Hollywood, and it was so bizarre that I genuinely thought that they were kidding. I still can't believe I did this audition. So for anyone who's new here, I'm an actress living in Los Angeles, and I've been auditioning professionally for several years. You're usually asked to do pretty normal things, but this one was not normal. So as I mentioned, this was a callback audition, so I already did the first round with them, and that was completely normal. Everything was fine. I was auditioning for the role of an influencer. It was a movie about Jumanji meets coming of age story, so it was a good concept and I was definitely interested. And then they called me back a few days later. So I had no reservations going into the next round. And I definitely was not prepared for what was coming next. Immediately as I arrive, there are maybe 20 people in the waiting room, and everyone's practicing their lines, and 10-15 minutes go by, and then they ask all of us, all 20 people, to go back into the room. So I go in, and what I see is all of the chairs are organized in a circle. Maybe that would have been my sign to leave. They're telling us to sit down in the circle, and then the director and the producer proceed by saying that we're gonna play Truth or Dare. And at that point, I'm like, surely they're just kidding. Just for context, usually during an audition, you're asked to perform the scene and then you get some notes from the director. They might ask you to be more emotional, to try to take it in a different direction, to give them something surprising. There are usually pretty normal things you're asked to do. Well, this wasn't normal. So we all sit down. Like, how are we supposed to play Truth or Dare in character while there are 5 other girls going for the same role? How are we supposed to play this game now? And why are we playing this game? I just want to leave. I don't want to get involved in whatever's coming here. But you know, you're already there and you're like, okay, let me just see how this will play out. But I'm scared. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. And then we start playing the game, and it was weird. We had to introduce ourselves as the character and then play Truth or Dare. Like, these are people that I just met. Like, I don't want to sit in your lap. And the funny thing is that when I initially auditioned for this role, I knew that this is an influencer, but I tried to show her humanity more and not go into kind of like a cartoonish version of the character. And that's why I was called back. And then on the day, I was like, is this a competition? Like, how am I supposed to compete with people who took this role in a completely different direction? And then it was just like a screaming match, like who's the loudest in the room. Everyone just shouted over each other. I really felt like we were monkeys in a zoo trying to impress the director and the producer. And then it was my turn. And I just tried to stick with my original audition. So they asked me Truth or Dare, and I said Truth. I obviously didn't want to do a dare because I'm not gonna go that crazy. And they asked me something like, what's your biggest secret? And I think I said something along the lines of, everyone thinks that they know everything about me, but the real me, none of you guys know. And I could tell in the moment that that did not land. They just wanted us to, like, you know, go crazy, act like this is a crazy party. One of the girls really went for it. And I was like, more power to you, girl, but I'm not gonna do that. I really don't know how they wanted to cast this role. What was their vision for this? We were there for a good hour playing this game. And when everyone was done, the producer and the director thanked us for being there. And they were like, we'll let you know about our decision. So after doing this ridiculous audition, did I get it? No. Of course not. A few days later, they sent me an email and they were like, we went in a different direction. And honestly, even if they wanted to book me, I don't think I would want to work with them because we're just so different. And I was so not okay with the way that they were handling everything. And I wrote back to them and I was like, I totally understand and I think it's for the best. And I actually felt relief when they didn't choose me. And I really learned that not every audition is for you and it's okay to say no. I think as women, we're always conditioned to just not be difficult and say yes to everything. I'm so glad that I didn't do anything crazy during that audition because I would feel so bad after and it's just not worth it. There are so many other roles and production companies in Hollywood. I don't need to be desperate for this one. If you're really not feeling an audition, don't do it. But anyway, the moral of the story is if you're moving to Hollywood to become an actress, be prepared to do some crazy things that you'd never imagined yourself doing, because sometimes it's just like that. And it's good to take everything with a grain of salt and not take it too seriously, because clearly they're not taking it seriously. If you want more behind the scenes stories about what it's actually like being an actress in Hollywood, be sure to subscribe because I have a lot more where that came from. And thank you guys so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye!